interrogative pronouns. Now, this is again a very important category of pronouns because these pronouns help us to ask questions about nouns. And there are basically 5 interrogative pronouns: who, what, which, whom, and whose. These pronouns allow us to build a question around the thing that the pronouns refer to. So we generally use WH words for building our questions around the things or the people. Let's understand the usage of all these interrogative pronouns in our sentences. First of all, let's talk about the interrogative pronoun who. It is used to ask questions about people in general. For example, who wants a bag of fruits? Who is dancing with Jane? Who is that man over there? Who did this? Who controls the day-to-day running of the business? So we are generally asking questions about people. Then, what is used to ask questions about things in general when the answer is an open one? For example, what do you do when you are on holiday? What happened next? What did you have for lunch? And so on. And which is used to ask for identification of a particular person or a particular thing in a group. For example, which movie do you want to watch? Which of these books would you recommend? Here, you have to identify a particular movie or a particular book from many movies or many books. Similarly, we can say, which do you prefer, working in theatre or film? Again, you have to be specific for answering out of the choice given, working in theatre or film. As you can see in the box, what and which can be either a subject or an object. It's clearly visible here that we can use these interrogative pronouns what and which either a subject or an object in a clause. Now let's talk about the pronoun whose. Whose is the possessive form of the pronoun who. It is used when the person is the possessor. For example, whose jacket is this? Whose is that sports car outside? Whose side are you on? Whereas the pronoun whom is the object form of who. Like him is the object form of he. Her is the object form of she. And us is the object form of we. So, to understand how to use who, whom, and whose, you first have to understand the difference between subject, object, and possessive forms. Subjects do an action. For example, when I say Rohan loves movies, here our subject is Rohan, and if we have to frame a question, who loves movies, the noun Rohan is replaced with who while asking a question, and in the sentence Rohan is the subject, and that is why who is also a subject. When we talk about objects, they are receiver of an action. Let's take one more example to understand objective form. When we say the teacher likes Rohan, so the question would come out as whom does the teacher like? Here Rohan is the object, and that is why whom is the object pronoun. Whereas possessive form tells us about possession or ownership of a thing or person. So, when our answer is Rohan's bike is broken, our question would have been whose bike is broken? As the bike is possessed by Rohan, that is why we are saying Rohan's bike. But when we ask question for the same, we will use the possessive pronoun whose. I hope you have understood the usage of all the interrogative pronouns who, what, which, whom and whose. So, keep watching and keep learning.